It's that time of the year again where billionaire companies get into trouble and we laugh up until the point that they inevitably worm their way out of the situation or fork over billions of dollars of cash, and then we realize that they made that in about 15 seconds and it does not impact the company whatsoever. Now, today's big expose scandal comes from PlayStation, the company under Sony, and they are being sued for £5 billion. Now, I did say £5 billion, even though in the title it says $5 billion. Firstly, the majority of my audience is American, and secondly, Americans fear a currency that doesn't look like monopoly money and it doesn't dissolve when you put it in water. But yep, you heard it right. This lawsuit comes from the UK, the land of, not knife crime, TV license, lol, funny, get it out, okay, get it out your system. I do want to say this now, my American audience is about 45% and second place is the UK with only about 11%. The majority of my audience is American. I will never understand how you Americans get to mock the UK. Only one of us goes to school and has a childhood memory of putting an armor plate on our chest like it's Call of Duty Warzone. But I digress. The land of tea, crumpets, and money laundering for the ultra rich is now suing Sony with the allegation that it's ripping off its customers by charging way too much for video games and in-game purchases. And I mean, is anyone surprised that this lawsuit hasn't come sooner? Has anyone looked at the price of like new AAA releases now? The new Call of Duty that's set to come out is 70 quid base price. I don't know what that is in dollars. I don't care. Look it up. The Last of Us remake, which is the third instance of this game, by the way. We've had The Last of Us remastered, and now we get the Last of Us remake, 70 quid. They are charging a new release game for the same game for the third time. Now, at the minute, Snoy is being sued by, I think, Alex Neil, who is this consumer rights champion. And Alex apparently said in an interview to Sony, the game is up. That is the worst insult I could ever think of. There are easily, off the top of my head, like 5 different insults you could have used. Like, for example, the PS5 has no games, which is a good insult, but also completely true. Now, apparently this claim came from Sony that they were abusing their right as a market leader, because if you didn't know, the biggest leader in entertainment in the entire UK is Sony with the PlayStation. So apparently what PlayStation did, because they basically own the entire scene, they got greedy, and what they started to do for their developers and publishers, people that made their games that they had on their platform, they would charge them 30% extra that they'd take a cut of. Now, I mean, 30% is pretty normal. I mean, Steam, for example, you know, the most popular PC market, they charge 30% as well. So it's not an uncommon thing, but it's more the fact that Sony only changed it within the last 6 years when they became the top dog in the UK. So the problem is now, a dev makes a game, Sony charges 30% for it being on their platform, 30% of all sales. The dev, in turn, to break even, then needs to make the consumer pay more. So that's why your game is like 140 quid. Now, this is a quote from the actual lawsuit. Apparently, any PlayStation owner in the UK could be owed between £67 and £564, and that is spread across like 9 million people. So you can see why the lawsuit is 5 billion now. I think the worst thing is no one's going to actually understand how much they've been scammed. They're just going to sit there and go, oh my God, I get my V-Bucks back from 2017. Honestly, personal bias here. I moved to PC like a good while ago. And one of the best things about it, apart from carrying an iron lung everywhere, is it's free. Online is free for most games. And this isn't even some like Reddit PC Master Race elitism thing. I started off on Xbox. I loved it. I hated paying for online. Like I remember you could one-to-one private call people, but to even start a party chat, you had to have Xbox Live. You had to pay a monthly fee to talk to humans online. And then Snoy with the PlayStation, they thought, okay, I mean, ours is free, better service, better netcode. We're just going to copy Microsoft, not even have any server upkeep. We're just going to do it because they did it and they got away with it. So now you've got Microsoft and Sony both charging online. And you've got Nintendo Switch. No one plays that unless you're a woman. I do want to say as well, I'm in defense of consoles, right? I get it. Initially, they're incredibly more cheaper, they're more accessible, and you can set them up anywhere. I mean, like I said earlier, a PC is carrying around this iron-lung death box. Like me having to like take everything apart when I go and travel, even setting it up on a laptop, it is such a pain in the ass. I totally get the accessibility of a PlayStation. I mean, especially now with the PlayStation 5, most games run at 60 FPS, which they should have done 5 years ago. And as well, you have a very high chance that if you have a Fortnite account, you might be able to jump into an iShow speed lobby where he bullies you for being an 8-year-old. Now, obviously, there are more baseline reasons why games get more expensive. For example, as technology gets better, games get bigger in scale, like Ubisoft games that are the same game 19 times. Oh my God, look at Radio Tower, guys. Wow. One of the Sony leads himself has said that the production of games usually doubles between a console generation. Probably a lie. I kind of cut myself off there because it probably probably is a lie. All I'm saying is I don't want to have GTA 7 come out when I'm 35 years old and I have to fork over $1,000 for the base edition where I have to wait 7 years to get into a lobby, or I get the Giga Chad Big Ball edition for $15,000 and I get like a golden Desert Eagle or some dog shit. Okay, I know this is a little bit rambly, and I've just checked the video is an 8-minute shit, so I can't put mid-rolls in. I know I'm repeating what everyone's been saying about gaming. It's gotten really bad, right? Like really, really bad. We have these games that get released, they're broken and buggy messes. Like when you pay for a AAA game, you should be paying for a AAA experience, not play testing a game. Like honestly, you see so many games that come out on console and they're on like a timed exclusive thing, so they'll come out onto PC like a couple years later, like for example GTA, and then PC gamers will look from their high tower and say, thanks for play testing. It doesn't even feel ironic anymore. You know, even bonuses are a mess. You notice when you go to buy a game now, there's like, 7 different editions, and usually when you go to buy it, it'll default to the most expensive edition, tricking you into thinking there isn't a more cheaper alternative. Do you want the big ball Giga Chad or the 3 ball big... Honestly, I have a really good example of this, and I will like sit on this hill until the day I die. There was a game that came out called Deathloop. It was made by Arcane. It's a very good game. Definitely Arcane's weakest game because, they've got games like Prey and Dishonored, like 10 out of 10 games. Deathloop was a bad Arcane game, but for a video game, it was all right. Now, in that game, they had one DLC bundle, which was like a pre-order thing, but they turned it into a DLC. That DLC, now looking on the Steam page, is nearly the same price as the base game. Now, if you buy that DLC, you get the usual garbage, like cosmetics, skins, but what you do get, which is very important, is a golden silence pistol. Quick rundown on Deathloop. It's very stealth-based in the opening hours. You're learning your surroundings. If you die, you've got to start from the beginning. And also, you can be invaded at any time by either an AI or a human control player. So obviously, in the early hours, maintaining stealth is very important. And guns have a tier system. So for example, if you pick up like a rusty pistol, it will jam on you mid-combat, which is usually instant death to someone that knows what they're doing. My problem is with that, is you pay this money and the game instantly gives you a golden pistol that never jams, has incredibly high accuracy, and it has an inbuilt suppressor, so you can basically kill every single person you see from 5 miles away without alerting anyone at all. Now, I'm just going to give you like a simple scenario, right? Imagine you invade someone that has said gun. Who's going to win? The person with the shotgun that, jams after every 2 shots? Or the guy with a golden, 24 karat pistol with an inbuilt suppressor? It's a bit rambly, but that is literally pay to win. That is 100% pay to win. Anyway, I got a bit rambly there. I don't know where the lawsuit's gonna go. I kind of want to say that they win because rich people losing money is hilarious, that we can all relate to. But also at the same time, I might actually get a partnership with Sony in the future, maybe. And I don't want someone on Reddit to link them this and they ditch the sponsor. So, I don't know, guys. Let's find out next week. How do I do an outro? What does Critical do?
So yeah, guys, that's it.